Hey, I'm Suzanna Lanier, actor and acting coach for over 25 years.
I'm Jess Greenberg, casting director for over 10 years.
We're here to help you navigate this crazy, creative, and sometimes chaotic journey into the film and television world.
We share our insights as to what works.
And invite some pretty spectacular guests to share more ideas to move you on your journey.
So without further ado, let's get into the show.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome. Hi. Welcome to our first Minisode of episode 2. We're excited to be here. And today we're going to be talking about Richard M. Dumont. We say the M not to be confused with Richard Dumont. Apparently there's another one. So Richard M. Dumont, we have him on Thursday. He's a voice actor, director. He's done a ton of stuff you're going to see, and you're going to love the episode. But we wanted to talk about mindset. And because what really stood out for me was his perspective on things. Every question that we threw at him, he would just have this sort of lovely openness. And I thought that was fantastic. One thing that stood out for me, I asked him, like, Richard, what do you think of AI? And I put a lot of fear in my voice on this question, by the way. And he was like, oh, I'm not an expert on it, but I saw this really cool thing where they were able to do in dubbing, match the mouths to the timing. And that was amazing. And I was like, oh my God, like you're the first person who found the positive in it.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was kind of how it was through all our questions. It was always, everything was an opportunity,
Yes.
right? It was
Totally. Well, first of all, that AI thing about matching up the mouth to the dialects is so cool. It's
so cool.
True. And yeah, like literally he saw every change, every obstacle, every whatever as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to build, whatever it was. So I agree, like that stuck out a lot with Richard. It was amazing.
Yeah, because I'm going to say for myself, I call myself the silver linings girl, but I do go dark and then I find the silver linings.
Well, that's the contrast. You need the contrast to realize sometimes the silver linings.
To find the same silver linings and what happens, especially in hindsight. But with Richard, that wasn't the case. He went like straight to opportunities. It was really a very positive all the way around. And I thought that was really great. And another thing that stood out is, so we asked him, what do you like about Montreal talent? What are we doing right? And he said, well, I voice directed all over the world and places all over the world. And I can tell you the Montreal talent can stand next to any of them. They're phenomenal. And we have a phenomenal city. And I said, okay, and what do we need to improve on? Like, what are our limitations? And he's like, self-promotion. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's just, again, like, because I've asked this question before and people have said, we're not as confident. We don't get as much experience because we don't have as many productions. So then our confidence is lacking. He didn't say anything. He's like, we need to promote ourselves. We're amazing, And I was like, yeah, what did you think of that self-promotion?
Well, just to go back to like the Montreal being, great in voice, so people understand like the gravitas of this comment. Like, yeah, he's worked for a big gaming studio that has studios around the world, and he has directed games around the world.
Yes.
And Montreal specifically is world renowned for our voice work here.
Yes.
In the gaming world, in dubbing, in animation, across the world, not just Canada, not just North America, the world. So
yeah, and it's a big place. Yeah.
And so like, let that sink in. We are a world player in this industry, and that is incredible. Like,
it's incredible. Let's celebrate us. Yeah.
So like, I just want that to sink in, that it's not just it's coming from a pretty reputable place.
Yes.
And a reputable person to be saying that. So I think that's something we should be really proud of. And the self-promotion stuff, I agree. Like, how it came up is that, Montreal people think we're a French city.
Yeah.
And so a lot of US or, world productions, if they want to come film in Montreal, they don't realize that we have the English talent here, that there is a large Anglophone community. So, self-promotion, first of all, for every actor, I think is important. We've spoken about this, about social media and what to put out there. And I think it was a good reminder of like, yes, we want to do it for our city, but a good reminder for actors to self-promote. Why not?
Yeah.
And I think we do have to push that we have an Anglophone community, and we have a strong Anglophone actor community.
Yeah.
For voice, for video games,
and for acting too. I mean, you said it, Jess, when you did Witchboard, that the director was like, these players are really good. Like it actually surprised him how Montreal talent's really good. So that was exciting.
It's great.
Yeah.
So a lot of good reminders, and it's cool.
I think it's great too. I'm happy about that. I really enjoyed the stuff that Richard was sharing with us of how to just really stand in our power and keep going.
Yeah. And the other thing too to keep in mind is like everything is an opportunity, and you never know where something could lead. When you really immerse yourself and keep an open mind, opportunities will present themselves.
Absolutely.
And you don't necessarily need the formal training for that. Like it's your experience and network that I think will help present you different opportunities. And
and he said, I just love to work. I just wanted to work. So he was doing theater, and then that somebody asked him, would you do voices? And what I loved about his, and you guys will hear too, and he wasn't really seeking out a career as a voice actor. He auditioned for a voice part, and he got it. And that led to that, he was doing dinner theater, coming from Toronto, doing dinner theater in English in Montreal, because we had a big dinner theater community. It wasn't something that he sought out, but it found him. And then he realized he had opportunities, and then he worked at it. And then so I think that's kind of interesting. Find, stay open and learn, and then, and be open for opportunities. Like, I think you have to just be open and see them, because I think that a lot of people just don't think that they're around. It's like, oh, it's quiet, there's nothing going on. And then, but some people are working, and why it's, and they see it, there's just looking around and saying, okay, what can I do now? And what will generate more work, and say yes to trying different things.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And
so that's it. So you guys are going to hear our wonderful episode on Thursday, and I promise you it is going to inspire you as it did me, and give you a nice surge of energy. So please listen on Thursday, and stay tuned. Yeah.
Yay. Thank you so much,
everybody. Thank you.
We're back.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you're enjoying this podcast, we would really appreciate it if you could take a moment to support us.
Leave us a review on your favorite podcast app. You can share this podcast with your friends and colleagues, and follow us on social media at Book the Room Podcast.
We put out episodes weekly, so subscribe to the shows to